Hey everyone, this is Ryan Mortimer back with another episode of The Manners Maketh Man. And today I wanted to talk about motivation versus discipline and what's the difference between the two. So, I actually really don't like the word motivation. For whatever reason, it's never really stuck with me. Now, I'm not saying like I don't like motivational speakers, because I like motivational speakers, but the word motivation in and of itself has always struck a chord with me in the wrong way, or like rubbed me the wrong way, I guess you could say. And the reason I say that is motivation is a fleeting thought or feeling or emotion. I can go watch a video of David Goggins, and if you don't know who that is, you should go look him up. He's got a book out that I really enjoyed called Can't Hurt Me. And he just came out with another one. I think it's called Never Finished. I haven't read that one yet, but I have read Can't Hurt Me and listened to the audiobook, and it's incredible. Anyways, you can listen to like a David Goggins, a Jocko Willink, a Cameron Haynes, Nick Bear, Nick Komolatos, any of these guys, right? Tim Kennedy. I'm sure if you know any of those people that I'm naming off, you can probably understand the type of people that I listen to or read their material. But you can listen to any of those people and you can be motivated in the moment, right? You can feel that motivation. You can feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to go run a 5K, or I'm going to go run a race, or I'm going to go do a bodybuilding show, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that. But that feeling comes and goes, right? Motivation that's all it is it's a feeling. And so something that I'm trying to work on that I am not good at is being disciplined. And I full-heartedly admit that. I'm not good at being disciplined. I'm really good at being motivated in the moment of like I just saw a post. I'll have to pull it up. I just saw a post by Nick Bear, who is someone that I really look up to. I use his supplement products. I followed him for probably 5 or 6 years now. And his post is, I'm not sure where I would be without running. It sets the foundation of the day. My mind is clearer. My thoughts are deeper. My actions are more intentional. This is why I run. It's like, oh yeah, I'm motivated. I'm going to go run, or I'm going to go sign up for a race, or this, that, whatever. But that man, Nick Bear, is 100% disciplined. When it's cold outside, he's still running. Like right now, we've got freezing rain in Dallas, and his company is located in Austin, Texas, and he's still running. Same thing with like the David Goggins, right? He's running every day. He's biking every day. Like I just listened to an interview that he did where they asked him how much he trains in a day. But these are people like, this is their life, right? Training and working out and that kind of stuff. There's a guy that I work with, who just did an Ironman, a full Ironman. And the company that I work at, I mean, we're working 10 to 12 hours a day. And for him to find time to go run an Ironman and complete it, that's discipline. And that's something that I'm trying to work on, is that discipline aspect of doing it even when you don't want to. My dad, when we were kids, he would always tell me there's two types of discipline in this world. There's self-discipline, and then there's imposed discipline. And the choice of which one happens to you is your own. So what he meant by that, and as I'm getting older, it keeps coming back to me of like, man, I really am understanding these sayings that my dad would tell us as kids. Because as a kid, it was like, Dad, just shut up. Like all of these sayings, like, we get it, whatever. But the older that I'm getting and the more life experience that I'm having, the more I'm understanding where he came from and why he said the things that he said. So anyways, so you have two types of discipline in this world. You have self-discipline or you have imposed discipline. And the choice of what type of discipline you have in your life is yours. So self-discipline is doing the thing that you said you were going to do because you said you were going to do it. That's self-discipline, no matter what. Being disciplined to go run or to go work out or to study for an exam. Like there are some certifications and some exams that I'm looking at studying for work. Will I have the discipline to study when I just got done working 10 or 12 hours a day, right? That's the type of thing. Now, there's also imposed discipline. And imposed discipline is the exact opposite of self-discipline. Imposed discipline is discipline that is being put on you by someone or something else. So, for example, let's say you're on parole because of whatever. You are now being imposed some type of discipline because of the actions that you did, right? So you have to make that decision on what type of discipline you have to have or what type of discipline is going to be in your life. So one of the things that I have right now because of some whatever is I have high blood pressure. And so now I could have the self-discipline to get that under control, or now I am having the imposed discipline of I need to take high blood pressure medicine. And what does that look like? So now I'm trying to make the conscious efforts to have self-discipline in the foods that I eat, the water intake, the going to the gym, those types of things, so that I can have the self-discipline and have normal blood pressure without medicine. So that's kind of the thought that I had for today was, what type of discipline do you want in your life? Where are you in your life with that? There were points in my life where I was really good at discipline. And like looking back, when I got married, so Cass and I got married when we were 20. And I started going to school right away. We got married in February, and then I started school that next fall. But because I had a wife and a family to take care of, I had to work. And so I worked full time and I went to school full time. So I was working 40 to 50 hours a week. And I was going to school 4 to 5 classes every semester. I was getting an accounting degree. And I had to have the discipline of working, going to work every day, and then studying and going to school and going to class. And I was really disciplined with that. And I don't know if that was just because of my age or because I was newly married or whatever it was, but I was very disciplined in that. I always made sure, I always turned in my assignments. I always studied for tests. I never failed a class in college. I graduated with just below a 3.5. And I was very disciplined in that because I had to be. I had no other choice. So I think that's maybe part of the reason where my discipline can come in is when I'm backed up against a wall and I don't see any other option, my discipline can kick in. It's the same, like, there's a story that I heard. I don't remember who did it, but I think it was one of the conquistadors that when they would go to the land, they would burn their boats. And so that's when you hear the saying, like, burn your ships or burn your boats. So that way you have no plan B. You have no ability to retreat or to go back. You have to move forward. You have to keep pushing. And maybe that's what I need to do with some things. I don't know. But I also looking at times of when I was really disciplined, school and work. I would even say when I was doing the ROTC program, I was very, very disciplined. I had to drop 75 to 80 pounds in 3 months because they had their height and weight restrictions. So going and doing that, I was very disciplined in the food that I ate and when I went to the gym and how much I worked out. But then at the same point, like I still had work and I still had school I had to go do. And I was very disciplined in that. So I think for me, discipline comes in waves when I'm really, really wanting something. Like I would say I wanted to become an officer in the United States Air Force more than I wanted to live. I know that sounds extreme, but truly that was the case. You can ask my wife how intense it got at some points, and that's where it was. And I was so disciplined in what I had to do because to me there was no other options. It was the United States Air Force or it was nothing. And so discipline for me is when I want something more than anything else, there is no questions. Like when I tell people that I went to school and I worked full time, a lot of people are like, oh wow, I don't know how you could do that. I couldn't do that. It's like, yeah, you could, but you're choosing not to. And because I had no other choice, right? I had a wife that I had to take care of. And I had a family. Like I had to go to school. I had to get my degree. I had to go do these things, right? So there were no other choices. There were no other options for me. And so I had that self-discipline. Otherwise, I would have had that imposed discipline of I can't get a good job if I didn't go. Or I would get fired if I didn't go to work. Or I would fail assignments and waste money in tuition. And so I think it all just depends on what you want. And from experience, I would much rather have self-discipline than imposed discipline. Jocko Willink, if you're familiar with him, he's written a couple books. He's got a really, really, really good podcast that he comes out every week. His saying is discipline equals freedom. And I've had some conversations with people that disagree with that because if you're disciplined in what you need to do, then that takes away your freedom. Where it's like, no, because if you're disciplined and you can do these things, then it creates more freedom down the road for you to do other things. I don't know. I think it's all just perspective. But discipline does equal freedom. Discipline helps with life. Like I need to be at my job by no later than 7:30 every day. That's when it was asked for us to be in our office. And I could say like, 7:40, 7:50. Yeah, I can make that there. But am I disciplined enough to get up on time, to get ready, to go work out, shave, shower, do all the things I need to, get my suit on, and go to work? So the choice is yours on what type of discipline you're going to have. I would urge you to have self-discipline because self-discipline is a lot better and a lot easier to control than the imposed discipline that can come upon you because you didn't have the self-discipline to begin with. It's my little tidbit of thought for tonight. I hope you all have a great night, great day, wherever you are. Again, if you like this is what it's going to be like. Just little conversations. If you like this type of thing, just subscribe or like it, whatever. If not, whatever. Again, this is much more for me than it is for you guys. So hope you all have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Peace and blessings. Laters.